Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in American history, the quarter dollar, especially the 1973 quarter and its current market value. Stay with me because what you are about to hear may completely change the way you look at the coins in your pocket. The United States quarter dollar has been part of American history since 1796. For more than 2 centuries, this small silver-sized coin has witnessed wars, economic booms, depressions, and technological revolutions. It has changed designs, compositions, and minting techniques, but one thing has remained constant: collectors are always searching for rare quarters worth serious money. Now let's focus on the 1973 Washington quarter. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary coin. It features the familiar portrait of George Washington on the front with the word Liberty at the top, the date 1973 below, and the motto "In God We Trust." On the reverse, you see the majestic eagle with outstretched wings, clutching arrows and olive branches, with United States of America and quarter dollar surrounding it. But here's where things get interesting. In 1973, quarters were minted in 3 main locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia carry no mint mark. Denver coins have a small d mint mark. San Francisco coins may have an S mint mark and were often struck as proof coins for collectors. Most 1973 quarters you find in circulation today are made of copper-nickel clad composition. That means they are not silver. After 1964, regular quarters stopped being made of 90% silver. However, that does not mean they are worthless. Far from it, the value of a 1973 quarter depends on condition, rarity, mint mark, and possible mint errors. In circulated condition, a normal 1973 quarter might only be worth its face value of 25 cents. But when you move into uncirculated grades, especially MS65, MS66, or higher, the value increases dramatically. For example, a 1973 quarter graded MS67 can sell for hundreds of dollars. Some exceptional high-grade specimens have sold for thousands. The reason is simple: while millions were produced, very few survived in near-perfect condition. Now let's talk about the 1973 S-proof quarter. Proof coins are specially made for collectors using polished dies and planchets. They have mirror-like surfaces and sharp details. A deep cameo proof in perfect PR70 condition can command significant prices in the collector market, but the real excitement comes from error coins. Error coins are mistakes made during the minting process. These include double strikes, off-center strikes, wrong planchets, clipped planchets, and doubled dies. A 1973 quarter struck on the wrong metal, such as a silver planchet or even a foreign coin blank, could be worth thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars depending on the uniqueness and condition. There have been rare cases where certain quarters, due to extreme rarity, private auction battles, or historical significance, reached astonishing prices. While a specific value like $787,976.48 would represent an extremely rare and unique auction scenario, the coin market has proven time and time again that rare specimens can achieve unbelievable results. Collectors are especially interested in coins with strong strikes, full details in Washington's hair, sharp eagle feathers, and minimal contact marks. Even tiny differences can mean the difference between 25 cents and several $1,000s. So how do you know if your 1973 quarter is valuable? First, check the mint mark. Look carefully under the date area. No mint mark means Philadelphia. A small d means Denver. An S means San Francisco. Second, examine the condition. Is the coin shiny? Are there scratches? Is there wear on Washington's cheek or hair? The less wear, the higher the grade. Third, look for errors. Use a magnifying glass. Check for doubling in the letters of Liberty or In God We Trust. Look at the rim, is it complete? Is the strike centered? Fourth, consider professional grading. Services like PCGS or NGC authenticate and grade coins. A certified high-grade coin can sell for much more than a raw coin because buyers trust its authenticity and grade. The history behind the Washington quarter design is also powerful. Introduced in 1932 to celebrate George Washington's 200th birthday, the design was originally intended to be temporary. Instead, it became permanent due to public demand. The obverse was designed by John Flanagan, and his classic portrait remained for decades. By 1973, America was experiencing economic challenges, inflation, and changes in metal prices. The transition from silver to clad coinage had already occurred, making earlier silver quarters more valuable for their metal content alone. But clad quarters gained their own collectible value based on rarity and condition. Many people overlook modern coins because they assume only old silver coins are valuable. That is a mistake. Modern coins in perfect condition are often much rarer than old circulated silver coins. Survival rate matters more than mintage numbers. Imagine finding a nearly flawless 1973 D quarter in your old coin jar. After grading, it comes back MS67+. Suddenly, what you thought was pocket change becomes a coin worth hundreds or even thousands. This is why coin collecting is so exciting. It combines history, art, economics, and treasure hunting. The coin market today is stronger than ever. Online auctions, collector forums, and grading services have made it easier to buy and sell rare coins. Prices fluctuate based on demand, rarity, and condition. High-end registry collectors compete fiercely for the finest known examples, pushing prices higher and higher. If you are serious about checking your quarters, start saving them. Separate by year. Store them in protective holders. Avoid cleaning them. Cleaning can destroy value instantly. Even wiping a coin can reduce its grade significantly. Remember, originality is everything in coin collecting. The 1973 quarter may not be silver, but in the right condition or with the right error, it can absolutely be worth far more than 25 cents. And while most will remain common, the rare exceptions are what drive collectors wild. So next time you receive change at a store, do not ignore those quarters. That simple coin with Liberty at the top and 1973 at the bottom could hold a surprising story, and possibly serious value. If you enjoyed learning about the 1973 quarter dollar and its current market potential, make sure you subscribe to Coins. On this channel, we uncover hidden treasures, rare mint errors, and coins worth thousands that people overlook every single day. Welcome back to the channel Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and powerful pieces of American pocket change ever created, the quarter dollar, especially the legendary 1973 quarter and the incredible truth about its current market value. This is not just a coin. This is history, mystery, and in some rare cases, a fortune hiding in plain sight. Imagine holding a simple quarter in your hand. 25 cents. Something most people ignore, spend, or drop between car seats. But what if I told you that some quarters are worth hundreds, thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars? And what if the 1973 quarter you might have sitting in a drawer right now could be far more valuable than you think? Let's travel back in time. The United States quarter dollar has a long and proud history. First introduced in 1796, the quarter has gone through multiple designs and transformations. But the most recognizable design for many collectors is the Washington quarter, first issued in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. That design became iconic. On the front of the coin, you see the powerful profile of George Washington. At the top, you see the word Liberty. That single word carries weight, meaning, and history. Under Washington's chin, you'll find the year of minting. On the back, depending on the design era, you'll see the American eagle or later variations. Now let's focus on 1973. The 1973 Washington quarter was minted during an interesting period in American coinage. By 1965, the U.S. Mint removed silver from circulating quarters. Before 1965, quarters were made of 90% silver. After that, they were made of copper and nickel-clad layers. So the 1973 quarter is not a silver coin in normal circulation. It is a clad coin. But that does not mean it has no value. In 1973, the United States Mint produced quarters in three main locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint coins from 1973 do not have a mint mark. If you look under the year and see no letter, that means it was made in Philadelphia. The Denver Mint coins have a small d mint mark, the San Francisco Mint produced proof coins, and those have an S mint mark. Now here is where things become exciting. The 1973 quarter had extremely high mintage numbers in Philadelphia and Denver. Hundreds of millions were produced. Because of that, most 1973 quarters in circulated condition are only worth face value, 25 cents. Even in uncirculated condition, most standard examples may sell for just a few dollars, but collectors do not search for common coins. They search for condition, rarity, and errors. Condition is everything that if a 1973 quarter has never been circulated, has full mint luster, sharp details, and no scratches, it can be graded at high mint state levels like MS65, MS66, MS67, or even higher. At the very highest grades, especially MS67 or above, prices can jump dramatically. Some certified high-grade 1973 quarters have sold for hundreds or even over $1,000 at auction. Now let's talk about proof coins. The 1973 S-proof quarter was specially made for collectors. These coins have mirror-like surfaces and sharp details. In deep cameo condition, where the design appears frosted against a mirror background, values can rise significantly. High-grade proof coins graded PR69 deep cameo can sell for strong prices in the collector market, but the real treasure hunters are searching for errors. Mint errors are the secret doorway to serious money. Some 1973 quarters have been found with double die errors. This happens when the coin design is accidentally stamped twice slightly off alignment. If you see doubling in the letters of Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, or in the date, you may be looking at something special. Other valuable errors include off-center strikes, where the coin is not perfectly aligned during minting. Some of these coins can sell for hundreds of dollars depending on how dramatic the error is. There are also coins struck on wrong planchets. Imagine a quarter design stamped on a nickel blank or another metal by mistake. These rare mistakes can bring in thousands of dollars. Then there are coins with missing clad layers. Since the 1973 quarter is made of layered metals, sometimes the outer layer is missing. This creates a strange copper appearance on one side. These error coins are rare and can command strong premiums. Now let's address the big number. You may have seen shocking claims online that a 1973 quarter is worth $787,976.49. That exact number sounds dramatic and attention-grabbing. But here is the truth: a regular 1973 quarter in average condition is not worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. However, in the coin collecting world, there have been rare coins from other years that sold for incredible amounts because of unique errors, experimental strikes, or extremely rare varieties. In theory, if a 1973 quarter were discovered with a never-before-seen major mint error, struck in the wrong metal, or with a unique historical significance, it could reach astonishing values at auction. The coin market works on rarity, demand, and verified authenticity. Current market value for a normal circulated 1973 quarter remains 25 cents. An uncirculated example might range from $1 to $20 depending on grade. A high-grade certified example could reach several $100 or more. Proof versions in top condition may sell from $10 to over $100 depending on quality. Major mint errors can range from $100 to several $1,000s. The key word is authentication. If you believe you have a rare 1973 quarter, never clean it. Cleaning destroys collector value. Instead, have it evaluated by a professional grading service. Certification from respected companies increases trust and market price. Now let's step back and appreciate the deeper history. The quarter dollar represents American commerce, resilience, and design evolution. From early silver quarters of the 18th century to the clad coins of the 1970s, each piece tells a story of economic change. The removal of silver in 1965 was a direct response to rising silver prices and coin shortages. By 1973, America had fully transitioned into the clad era. Yet collectors still chase these coins decades later. Why? Because coins are time capsules. A 1973 quarter may have passed through thousands of hands. It may have bought groceries, paid for gas, or dropped into arcade machines. Every scratch tells a story, and sometimes, hidden among millions, there is that one coin that stands out. That one coin in perfect condition. That one coin with a rare error. That one coin that transforms from pocket change into a collector's dream. So here is what you should do: check the date carefully, look for the mint mark, examine the coin under strong light, use a magnifying glass to inspect the letters in Liberty and the date 1973. Check the edge for unusual colors or missing layers, weigh the coin if possible. A standard clad quarter weighs about 5.67 grams. If the weight is significantly different, you may have something unusual. Store valuable coins in protective holders, and most importantly, educate yourself continuously. The coin market changes. Auction results fluctuate. New discoveries happen. A coin considered common today could become more desirable tomorrow due to grading population reports or collector trends. The 1973 quarter may not normally be worth hundreds of thousands, but the excitement of searching, learning, and discovering is priceless. On this channel Coins, we explore hidden treasures, rare finds, mint errors, historical secrets, and real market values. If you love coin collecting, treasure hunting, and the thrill of discovering money hiding in plain sight, you are in the right place. Today we are diving deep into one of the most talked about American coins in circulation history, the legendary 1977 Washington quarter. Many people believe this coin could be worth an unbelievable $787,976.47. Is that real? Is it hype, or is there a hidden truth behind rare versions of this coin that could truly be worth a fortune? Stay with me because this story is more exciting than you think. The quarter dollar is one of the most recognized coins in the United States. First introduced in 1796, the quarter has carried powerful American symbols for over 2 centuries. Since 1932, the Washington quarter has featured the portrait of George Washington on the front. At the top of the coin, you see the word Liberty proudly displayed. Below the portrait appears the motto "In God We Trust" and the year of minting. On the reverse side, before the state quarters program began, you would see a majestic eagle with spread wings, arrows in its claws, and olive branches symbolizing peace and strength. Now let us focus on the 1977 D quarter. The letter D means this coin was minted in Denver. In 1977, the United States Mint produced hundreds of millions of quarters in Denver. Because of that high mintage, most 1977 D quarters you find in circulation today are worth only face value, just 25 cents. But here is where the story becomes interesting: not all coins are equal. Some coins become extremely valuable because of condition, rarity, minting errors, or unique characteristics. A standard worn 1977 D quarter that has been in circulation for decades may only be worth 25 cents. However, a 1977 D quarter in uncirculated mint state condition can be worth significantly more, especially if it has sharp details, strong luster, and no visible scratches. Collectors use grading scales to determine coin value. A 1977 D quarter graded MS-65 or higher can sell for many times its face value. The higher the grade, the rarer the coin becomes. Coins graded MS-67 or MS-68 are extremely difficult to find because very few survive in such perfect condition. When a coin reaches those high grades, collectors compete fiercely to own them, pushing the price up dramatically. But what about the claim of $787,976.47? That number sounds shocking, almost unbelievable for a 1977 D quarter. In reality, no regular 1977 D quarter has sold anywhere near that amount. However, rare coins in general, especially error coins or coins with unique minting mistakes, have reached extraordinary prices in auctions. When collectors hear stories of million-dollar coins, it creates excitement and sometimes confusion. The real hidden value in a 1977 D quarter could come from rare mint errors. Mint errors are mistakes that happen during the coin production process. These can include double die errors, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, wrong planchet strikes, or dramatic die cracks. If a 1977 D quarter was struck on the wrong metal or has a major double die feature, it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on rarity and demand. For example, if you discover a 1977 D quarter struck on a silver planchet by mistake, that would be incredibly rare. Most 1977 quarters were made of copper nickel-clad composition, not silver. Silver quarters were discontinued for circulation after 1964. So finding a 1977 quarter struck on silver would be a major mint error and could be extremely valuable. Another factor that increases value is proof-like surfaces. Sometimes business strike coins come out with mirror-like fields and frosted devices. These coins are highly collectible. If you have a 1977 D quarter with exceptional eye appeal, blazing luster, and almost flawless surfaces, it could command a strong premium in the collector market. History also plays a role in value. The late 1970s were an interesting time in American coinage. Inflation was rising, silver prices had spiked earlier in the decade, and the mint was producing massive quantities of coins to meet demand. The 1977 D quarter represents that era of American economic history. While common in circulation, high-grade examples are surprisingly scarce. Many people ignore quarters in their pocket change, but treasure hunters search rolls of coins from banks hoping to find rare errors or high-grade examples. Coin roll hunting has become popular worldwide. Imagine finding a nearly perfect 1977 D quarter hidden in a bank roll. That moment of discovery is what makes coin collecting so thrilling. Now let us talk about current market value. As of today, most circulated 1977 D quarters are worth 25 cents. Lightly circulated examples might sell for 50 cents to $1 to collectors filling albums. Uncirculated examples in mint state condition can range from $5 to $20 depending on grade. Higher graded certified coins can reach into the hundreds of dollars. Extremely rare top population graded coins can go even higher at auction. The dream of finding a quarter worth hundreds of thousands of dollars is what keeps collectors searching. While the specific number $787,976.47 may not reflect an actual sale of a 1977 D quarter, it represents the excitement of the rare coin market. Certain rare coins in American history have indeed sold for millions. That possibility fuels passion and curiosity. When examining your 1977 D quarter, check the mint mark under the date area. Look carefully at the word Liberty at the top. Make sure the letters are sharp and not worn down. Inspect the edges for unusual features. Use a magnifying glass to check for doubling in the lettering or numbers. Look for unusual color that could indicate a wrong metal strike. Condition is everything in coin collecting. A coin with full original luster and no contact marks is dramatically more valuable than a worn example. Store valuable coins in protective holders to preserve their condition. Never clean coins because cleaning reduces value significantly. The Washington Quarter series continues to be one of the most collected coin series in the world. From the early silver issues to the modern clad coins, each year has its own story. The 1977 D quarter may seem common, but hidden gems can still exist. Always remember that coin values change based on market demand, collector interest, and overall economic conditions. Precious metal prices also influence the coin market. Even though the 1977 D quarter is not made of silver, trends in the overall coin market can affect prices. If you enjoyed learning about the 1977 D Washington quarter and its potential value, make sure to subscribe to Coins for more deep dives into rare coins, hidden treasures, and valuable collectibles. In the next videos, we will explore other quarters that could be hiding in your pocket change right now. You never know which coin could change your life. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and misunderstood pieces of American pocket change, the 1979 D quarter dollar. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary coin you could find in loose change, but hidden behind its simple design is a powerful story of American history, minting secrets, collector demand, and in rare cases, surprising market value that can reach extraordinary numbers. Imagine holding a coin that has traveled through decades of history. The 1979 D quarter was struck at the Denver Mint, marked by the small d mint mark on the obverse. This coin carries the iconic portrait of George Washington, originally designed by John Flanagan. The word Liberty stretches proudly across the top, symbolizing freedom and independence. Below Washington's profile is the date 1979, and beneath that, the phrase "In God We Trust." On the reverse, we see the classic eagle design used before the state quarter era began in 1999. The eagle spreads its wings wide, clutching arrows and olive branches, representing both strength and peace. United States of America curves around the top, and quarter dollar rests below. This design was a staple of American coinage for decades, making the 1979 D quarter part of a powerful historical lineage. Now let's talk about why collectors are interested in this specific coin. In 1979, the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of quarters. Because of this high mintage, most 1979 D quarters found in circulation today are worth only face value, 25 cents. But here's where things get exciting. Condition is everything in the coin market. Coins that remain in uncirculated condition, meaning they were never used in everyday transactions, can command higher prices. A 1979 D quarter in mint state condition, graded MS-65 or higher, can sell for several dollars. As the grade increases to MS-66 or MS-67, the value increases significantly. High-grade examples with strong luster, sharp details, and minimal contact marks are much scarcer than circulated pieces, but the real thrill comes from error coins and rare high-grade specimens. Certain 1979 D quarters have been discovered with striking errors, off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, or other minting anomalies. These rare variations can dramatically increase the coin's value depending on the severity and visibility of the error. There have been auction records of exceptionally high-grade quarters reaching impressive prices. While a typical 1979 D quarter is common, a superb gem example graded at the highest levels by professional grading services can bring substantial attention at auction. Claims of values reaching hundreds of thousands of dollars usually refer to either extreme grading rarities, unique error specimens, or misinformation circulating online. It is important for collectors to verify authenticity and grading through reputable sources. The coin market works based on supply, demand, condition, and rarity. Even though millions were minted, very few survive in pristine condition decades later. Every small scratch, bag mark, or sign of wear reduces the grade. Coins stored carefully from the moment they were struck have the best chance of achieving top-tier grading scores. The 1979 D quarter also represents a transitional era in U.S. coinage. The late 1970s were a period of economic challenge in America, with inflation and shifting metal values. Although quarters had already transitioned away from silver in 1965, the copper-nickel clad composition remained stable through 1979. These coins are composed of a pure copper core with outer layers of copper-nickel, giving them their familiar silver appearance. Collectors often examine the Liberty lettering, the sharpness of Washington's hair details, and the eagle's feathers to determine strike quality. A strong strike with bold details is always more desirable. Additionally, coins with original mint luster, that radiant cartwheel shine when tilted under light, are especially prized. When evaluating current market value, most circulated 1979 D quarters remain worth 25 cents. Lightly circulated examples may be worth slightly more in bulk to collectors assembling date and mint sets. Uncirculated rolls can sell for a premium depending on quality. Certified high-grade examples graded MS-67 can reach significantly higher values at auction, sometimes climbing into hundreds or even thousands of dollars if demand is strong. However, extraordinary price claims such as $787,976.46 would require an exceptionally rare scenario, possibly a unique mint error, a one-of-a-kind specimen, or an incorrect listing. In the coin world, verified auction results and professional grading are critical for confirming such values. Always research completed auction sales rather than asking prices. One exciting aspect of coin collecting is the possibility of discovering hidden treasures in everyday change. While rare high-value 1979 D quarters are not common, searching rolls from banks or inherited collections can still be rewarding. Many collectors began their journey by examining ordinary coins and learning to spot small differences. The Liberty inscription at the top of the coin symbolizes more than design, it represents the enduring appeal of American coinage. The Washington quarter has remained one of the most recognized coins in the United States. Its long-running design before the state quarter program gives it historical continuity that collectors deeply appreciate. If you are considering selling or buying a 1979 D quarter, condition and certification matter most. Third-party grading companies encapsulate coins in tamper-proof holders and assign numeric grades. This provides confidence for buyers and sellers alike. A certified MS-67 example will always be easier to sell at a strong price than a raw, ungraded coin claiming to be high grade. Storage is equally important. Coins should be kept in protective holders, away from moisture and harsh environments. Cleaning a coin can drastically reduce its value. Many beginners make the mistake of polishing coins to make them shiny, but this often causes microscopic scratches that grading services penalize heavily. The history of the quarter dollar itself dates back to 1796. Over centuries, the design has evolved, yet Washington's portrait has remained since 1932. The 1979 D quarter stands as a continuation of that legacy, bridging traditional designs and the modern era of commemorative quarters. In the current coin market, demand fluctuates based on trends, economic conditions, and collector interest. High-grade Washington quarters from the 1970s are gaining more attention as collectors seek registry-quality examples. The better the condition, the higher the competition among serious collectors. For anyone watching coins, remember that knowledge is power. Study mint marks. Understand grading scales. Compare auction results. Learn the difference between hype and verified value. A coin's real worth is determined by documented sales, not rumors. The 1979 D quarter may not be rare in average condition, but in top condition or with significant mint errors, it can become a standout collectible. Every coin tells a story, of the year it was struck, the economic climate of its era, and the journey it has taken through countless hands. As you check your own collection, look closely at the details. Examine the Liberty lettering for clarity. Inspect the mint mark for sharpness. Tilt the coin under light to observe its luster. These small observations can make a huge difference in determining value. Coin collecting is not just about money. It is about history, artistry, and the thrill of discovery. The 1979 D quarter is a reminder that even common coins can carry fascinating backgrounds and potential surprises. Stay tuned to Coins for more deep dives into valuable and historical pieces. Keep searching, keep learning, and remember, sometimes the most ordinary coin can hold an extraordinary story. Today we are diving deep into one of the most misunderstood, most searched, and most exciting coins in American history, the 1982 P Washington quarter. Many people think it is just 25 cents. But what if I told you that under the right condition, under the right grading, and with the right mint characteristics, this simple coin could be worth far more than its face value? Some rare coins have sold for thousands, and collectors are constantly hunting for high-grade examples. Stay with me because by the end of this video, you may want to check every quarter in your pocket. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to celebrate the 200th birthday of George Washington. Originally intended as a one-year commemorative coin, it became a permanent part of American coinage because of its popularity. Designed by John Flanagan, the obverse features a powerful portrait of George Washington facing left. Above his head, the word Liberty is boldly written. Below his chin, you will see the year, in our case, 1982. On the reverse, you see a majestic eagle with outstretched wings, arrows in its claws symbolizing strength, and olive branches symbolizing peace. Now let's talk about 1982 specifically. This was an important transitional era for U.S. coin production. The United States Mint had already switched from silver to copper-nickel clad composition in 1965. That means your 1982 quarter is not silver. It is made of a copper core with nickel layers on the outside. The weight should be approximately 5.67 grams. If it weighs significantly more or less, that could indicate an error coin, and errors are where serious money can be made. The 1982 P quarter was minted in Philadelphia. The letter P appears on the coin, usually to the right of Washington's ponytail. This is important because earlier Philadelphia coins did not always carry a mint mark. By 1982, the P mint mark was standard. The total mintage of the 1982 P quarter was over 500 million coins. That sounds like a lot, and it is, but here's where things get interesting. In 1982 and 1983, the US Mint did not produce official mint sets for collectors. That decision had a huge long-term effect. Because fewer pristine coins were saved in original government packaging, high-grade uncirculated examples from 1982 are actually harder to find today compared to many other years. Circulated examples are common and worth face value. But uncirculated coins in mint state 65, mint state 66, or especially mint state 67 condition can bring surprising prices. Condition is everything in coin collecting. A worn 1982 P quarter with scratches, dull luster, and heavy circulation marks will only be worth 25 cents. But a sharply struck coin with strong luster, no visible marks, and full detail in Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers can be worth much more. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC evaluate coins on a 1 to 70 scale. The higher the number, the better the condition. Some 1982 P quarters graded MS67 have sold for hundreds of dollars. Auction records show that top population coins can reach impressive numbers because collectors compete for the finest known examples. While the average circulated coin is not rare, the highest quality examples are scarce due to the lack of mint sets that year. Now let's discuss errors, because this is where dreams become reality. Error coins can dramatically increase value. For 1982 P quarters, collectors look for off-center strikes, double die errors, clipped planchets, and strike-through errors. An off-center strike where part of the design is missing can sell for $50, $100, or more depending on severity. A dramatic double die, where letters like Liberty appear doubled, can command serious attention. Always check the word Liberty carefully. Look at the date 1982. Look at In God We Trust. Any clear doubling that is not machine doubling could indicate a valuable variety. Another important detail is the mint mark. A filled or weak mint mark can sometimes attract collectors. Also inspect the rim. A broad strike error where the coin lacks a defined rim can bring higher value. Some online listings claim extremely high values like hundreds of thousands of dollars for ordinary 1982 P quarters. It is very important to separate reality from hype. A regular circulated 1982 P quarter is worth 25 cents. Even most uncirculated examples are worth only a few dollars. However, a top-graded coin or a significant error coin can be worth hundreds or even thousands depending on rarity and demand. Always verify with trusted auction results and professional grading. Let's talk about how to check your coin. First, examine it under bright light. Rotate it slowly and look for luster, that shiny cartwheel effect. Second, use a magnifying glass or coin loupe, ideally 10x magnification. Check for doubling in Liberty and the date. Third, weigh the coin using a digital scale accurate to 0.01 grams. Standard weight is 5.67 grams. Fourth, inspect the edge. You should see a copper stripe between the nickel layers. If the edge looks solid silver without a copper line, that could indicate a wrong planchet error, and that would be extremely rare and valuable. Storage matters too. If you believe you have a high-grade example, do not clean the coin. Cleaning destroys value instantly. Even wiping it with a cloth can create microscopic scratches that grading companies will detect. Always handle coins by the edges and store them in protective holders. The history of the Washington Quarter series is rich and fascinating. From the silver era of 1932 to 1964, to the clad era beginning in 1965, to the 50-state quarters program starting in 1999, this denomination has captured American history in metal. The 1982 P quarter stands quietly between major eras, not silver, not commemorative, but still significant because of its condition rarity. Collectors often build complete Washington quarter sets from 1932 to present. When they reach 1982 P, they sometimes struggle to find a flawless example. That struggle creates demand. And demand creates value. So what should you do right now? Open your drawer. Check your change jar. Look inside old coin rolls. Many people overlook modern coins, assuming they are worthless. But high-grade coins can still be hiding in bank rolls or untouched collections. The key is patience and knowledge. Remember this: value depends on rarity, condition, demand, and authentication. Do not believe every high price you see online without verification. Research completed auction sales. Compare graded examples. Learn the difference between marketing hype and real collector demand. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1982 P. Washington quarter, make sure you subscribe to Coins for more hidden treasure stories. Every coin has a story. Every date has a mystery. And sometimes, that small piece of metal in your pocket can connect you to history, and maybe even bring unexpected profit. Check your quarters carefully. Look at Liberty. Look at 1982. Look for that P mint mark. Because you never know, the next valuable coin discovery could be yours. Today we are diving deep into one of the most misunderstood, overlooked, and surprisingly valuable coins in American history, the quarter dollar. And not just any quarter, we are talking about the 1983 D quarter, a coin that most people ignore, spend, or throw into jars without realizing that in rare condition it can be worth a life-changing amount of money. When you hear quarter dollar, you probably think 25 cents. Small change. Pocket money. But what if I told you that certain quarters have sold for thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars? And that the 1983 D Washington quarter is one of the key dates collectors are hunting right now in the current market? Let's start with the basics. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday. It replaced the standing Liberty quarter and became one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. The obverse features the powerful profile of George Washington with the word Liberty at the top, "In God We Trust" on the left, and the date at the bottom. On the reverse, for most years including 1983, you see the eagle with outstretched wings, arrows and olive branches below, and United States of America with quarter dollar clearly displayed. Now let's focus on 1983. The 1983 D quarter was struck at the Denver Mint. The D Mint mark appears just to the right of the ribbon on Washington's ponytail on earlier issues, but on the 1983 quarter it appears on the obverse next to the date. Millions were produced. So why is it special? Here's where things get interesting. In 1983, the United States Mint did not release any official mint sets for collectors. That means collectors had to pull high-quality coins directly from circulation. Because of this, uncirculated examples in high grade are surprisingly rare. Most 1983 D quarters you find today are heavily worn from circulation, and condition is everything. A circulated 1983 D quarter is worth face value 25 cents. Maybe a little more in bulk, but if you find one in uncirculated condition, with sharp details, strong luster, and no wear, the value jumps dramatically. In mint state 63 or 64, it can sell for several dollars. In MS 65, prices climb higher. And when you get into MS 66 and above, that is where serious money begins. High-grade certified examples have sold for hundreds, even thousands of dollars depending on quality and eye appeal. Now let's talk about the headline numbers. Some top-grade Washington quarters from various years have sold for astonishing prices, sometimes reaching into six figures at major auctions. While a regular 1983 D quarter will not automatically be worth $787,976.44, extremely rare mint errors or ultra-high-grade specimens in perfect condition can command jaw-dropping prices in the rare coin market. Auction records in the coin world prove that collectors will pay extraordinary amounts for perfection and rarity. So what should you look for in a 1983 D quarter? First, check the condition. Look at Washington's hair. Is it sharp and detailed? Check the cheek and jawline for wear. Look at the eagle's feathers on the reverse. Are they crisp and fully defined? A coin with full detail and bright original luster is what collectors want. Second, look for errors. Error coins can multiply value instantly. Some known quarter errors include off-center strikes, double die errors, clipped planchets, wrong planchet strikes, and dramatic die cracks. A major error on a 1983 D quarter could turn a simple 25-cent coin into something worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. Third, consider grading. Professional grading companies assign a numerical grade from 1 to 70. A coin graded MS-67 or higher is extremely rare for many circulation strikes from the early 1980s. If you believe you have a near-perfect example, getting it professionally graded could unlock serious value. Now let's talk about the current market. The coin market today is stronger than ever. Precious metals fluctuate, but collectible coins follow their own path driven by rarity, demand, and condition. Modern coins in top grades are gaining popularity because collectors are realizing how difficult it is to find flawless examples from circulation years. The 1983 D quarter is considered a key modern date in high grade. Prices have steadily increased over the years for top population certified examples. Online auctions, coin shows, and major auction houses continue to show demand for rare condition quarters, and here is something very important: not every old coin is valuable. Not every 1983 D quarter is rare. The difference between 25 cents and thousands of dollars is condition, grading, and sometimes errors. So before you spend your quarters, check them. Look inside old jars. Check inherited coin collections. Go through bank rolls. Many collectors have built valuable collections simply by searching pocket change. Now imagine this: you find a bright, flawless 1983 D quarter in an old roll. You send it for grading. It comes back MS-67 or higher. Suddenly, that simple quarter becomes a collector's prize. This is why coin collecting is exciting. It is treasure hunting in everyday life. The word liberty at the top of the coin is more than just a design element. It represents history, freedom, and a legacy carried through generations. The Washington quarter has been in circulation for decades, passing through millions of hands. And among those millions, a few special pieces survive in extraordinary condition. Those are the coins worth serious money. The key lesson here is knowledge. When you understand mint marks, mintage numbers, condition grades, and error varieties, you see coins differently. What looks ordinary to others becomes an opportunity to you. The 1983 D quarter reminds us that even modern coins can hold hidden value. It proves that rarity is not always about age. Sometimes it is about survival in top condition. Today we are diving deep into one of the most interesting and misunderstood coins in circulation, the United States quarter dollar, with special focus on the 1985 P Washington quarter and its current market value. Imagine holding a simple quarter in your hand. Most people see 25 cents. But collectors see history, mint marks, rare errors, silver stories, auction surprises, and sometimes life-changing money. The quarter dollar is not just a coin. It is a symbol of American heritage, liberty, power, and craftsmanship. Let us start with the story. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to celebrate the 200th birthday of George Washington. It was originally meant to be a one-year commemorative coin, but the design became so popular that it stayed. On the front you see the powerful portrait of George Washington facing left. Above his head is the word liberty. That word alone carries deep meaning. Freedom. Independence. A nation built on ideals. Below the portrait you see the year of minting. On modern quarters you will also find the mint mark. Now let us focus on the 1985 P quarter. The letter P stands for the Philadelphia Mint. Before 1980, Philadelphia coins often had no mint mark. But starting in 1980, the P mint mark began appearing on quarters. So if you look at your 1985 quarter and see a small P next to the date, that means it was struck in Philadelphia. The 1985 P quarter is made from a copper nickel-clad composition. That means it is not silver. The outer layers are copper nickel and the inner core is copper. It weighs about 5.67 grams and has a reeded edge. Millions were produced in 1985. In fact, the mintage of the 1985 P quarter was over 775 million coins. Because of such a high mintage, most 1985p quarters in normal circulated condition are only worth face value, which is 25 cents, but here is where things get interesting. Condition is everything in the coin world. A regular circulated 1985p quarter that has scratches, wear, and dull surfaces is common. But a high-grade uncirculated example with strong luster, sharp details, and no contact marks can be worth significantly more. In mint state condition, graded by professional grading companies like MS65 or higher, a 1985p quarter can sell for several dollars. In even higher grades like MS67 or MS68, prices can jump dramatically because very few coins survive in perfect condition. At auction, top-graded examples have sold for impressive amounts compared to face value. Now let us talk about the shocking number you mentioned, $787,976.43. A normal 1985p quarter has never sold for that exact amount. However, rare error coins or extremely rare varieties in the coin world can sometimes reach huge prices. Certain coins with double die errors, off-center strikes, wrong planchet strikes, or experimental metal compositions have sold for tens of thousands of dollars. In some extreme historical cases, rare coins from earlier years have sold for hundreds of thousands or even millions. So how can a quarter be worth a lot of money? The answer is rarity plus demand plus condition. If a coin has a dramatic mint error, like a strong double die on the date or the word Liberty, collectors get excited. If a coin was struck on a wrong metal planchet intended for another denomination, that is extremely rare. If a coin is preserved in flawless condition from the day it was minted, collectors compete heavily at auctions. When checking your 1985p quarter, look closely at the word Liberty. Make sure the letters are clear and not doubled. Examine the date 1985 carefully for any doubling or unusual shapes. Look at Washington's hair details. Strong details with no flattening mean less wear. Flip the coin to the back. You will see the eagle design that was used until 1998. The eagle has wings spread wide, arrows in its claws, and olive branches below. Above the eagle it reads United States of America. Below it reads $quarter. Pay attention to the mint mark P. Is it clear? Is it filled? Is it doubled? Small details can make big differences. Use a magnifying glass or coin loop for inspection. Lighting also matters. Tilt the coin under light to check for luster. Original mint luster gives a spinning cartwheel effect when rotated. History plays a powerful role in coin collecting. The $quarter has been part of American daily life for over 2 centuries. From silver quarters minted before 1965, which contain 90% silver, to modern clad quarters, each era tells a story. While the 1985p quarter is not silver, it still belongs to the long Washington quarter series that collectors love to complete. Many collectors build full date and mint mark sets. That means they collect one quarter from every year and every mint. For them, even common dates are important. That steady demand keeps even modern coins relevant in the market. Current market value for a circulated 1985p quarter remains face value, 25 cents. In uncirculated condition, you may see values ranging from $1 to $10 depending on grade. In very high certified grades, auction prices can climb higher. But remember, professional grading is key for top prices. Coins graded and sealed in official holders by trusted grading services bring stronger market confidence. There are also proof quarters minted in San Francisco with the S mint mark. Those were made for collectors and have mirror-like surfaces. A 1985 proof quarter can be worth several dollars, especially in perfect deep cameo condition. The dream of finding a rare and valuable coin in pocket change keeps millions of people searching every day. That is the magic of coin collecting. It is treasure hunting without leaving your home. Every coin has potential until proven common. If you want to increase your chances of finding valuable quarters, search bank rolls. Ask your bank for rolls of quarters and check them carefully. Look for errors. Look for high-grade coins. Store them safely in coin holders. Never clean your coins. Cleaning destroys value. Collectors prefer original surfaces, even if the coin looks slightly toned. The word liberty on top of the Washington quarter represents freedom. The eagle on the reverse represents strength. Together they form a design that has lasted for decades. Even though new state in America the beautiful quarters replaced the eagle design after 1998, the classic Washington eagle reverse remains iconic. Could a 1985 P quarter ever be worth thousands? In normal condition, no. But in rare error form or ultra-high-grade certified condition, it could surprise you. The coin market changes over time. Demand shifts. Populations of high-grade coins are tracked by grading companies. If very few examples exist in top condition, prices can rise. Always check recent auction results from trusted sources before believing extreme price claims. Some online listings show unrealistic prices. Real value comes from completed sales, not asking prices. Coin collecting is not just about money. It is about history, art, metal, economics, and passion. A small quarter connects you to 1985 America. It connects you to the mint workers who struck it. It connects you to every person who used it in daily life. So next time you receive change, do not ignore the quarter. Look at the date. Look at the mint mark. Check the condition. You might not find a coin worth $700,000, but you might start a hobby that is priceless. If you love coins, rare discoveries, hidden treasures, and market updates, make sure you stay connected with coins. Here we explore the value behind everyday money. We break down myths. We explain real market prices. We share history that turns pocket change into knowledge. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and underrated coins in American history, the quarter dollar, and especially the 1987 P Washington quarter. Many people ignore this coin because it looks common. It feels ordinary. It spends like 25 cents. But what if I told you that some quarters are worth far more than face value? What if I told you that certain pieces have sold for hundreds, thousands, and in rare cases even extraordinary prices that shock collectors around the world? Stay with me because this is going to open your eyes to the hidden world of quarter-dollar coins, mint marks, history, errors, and real current market values. The United States quarter dollar has a long and powerful history. First introduced in 1796, the quarter became one of the most important coins in everyday American commerce. Over the decades, the design changed several times. Draped bust. Capped bust. Seated liberty. Barber. Standing liberty. And finally in 1932, the Washington quarter was born. The Washington quarter was introduced to celebrate the 200th birthday of George Washington. What began as a one-year commemorative design became permanent. And since 1932, Washington's portrait has remained on the obverse, with modifications over time. Now let us focus on the word liberty at the top of the coin. That word represents freedom, independence, and the foundation of American identity. On the Washington quarter, liberty appears boldly above Washington's head. On high-grade examples, those letters are sharp and strong. On worn coins, they fade first. Collectors carefully examine those letters to judge condition and grade. Now let us talk about the 1987 P quarter. The letter P stands for Philadelphia Mint. For many years, Philadelphia coins did not carry a mint mark. But starting in 1980, the P mint mark began appearing on quarters. So when you see a small P to the right of Washington's ponytail, you know it was struck in Philadelphia. In 1987, the United States Mint produced millions of quarters for circulation. The economy was active, vending machines required quarters, and demand was high. At first glance, the 1987 P quarter seems extremely common. And in circulated condition, yes, it usually is worth only face value, 25 cents, but here is where things become interesting. In 1987, something unusual happened. The Mint did not release traditional uncirculated mint sets for collectors. That means high-quality examples of 1987 P quarters are harder to find in pristine condition compared to some surrounding years. Many coins entered circulation immediately. Fewer were saved in perfect condition. Because of that, high-grade 1987 P quarters can command significant premiums. In average circulated condition, value remains 25 cents. In lightly circulated condition, still about face value. But in uncirculated MS60 to MS63 condition, prices can range from a few dollars to maybe $10 depending on luster and eye appeal. Now when we move to MS65, the value can jump significantly. Bright, sharp, original mint luster examples can sell for $20, $30, even $50 depending on the market. In MS66 and higher grades, things get serious. Certified examples graded MS67 by professional grading companies have sold for hundreds of dollars. Some auction records show strong prices due to condition rarity. Now let us address something important. You may have seen extremely high numbers online such as $787.97642 or even claims of hundreds of thousands of dollars. It is critical to understand that such prices usually apply only to extremely rare error coins or unique high-grade specimens, not normal circulated coins found in change. For a 1987 P quarter to reach extraordinary values, it would likely need to have one of the following: a major mint error such as double strike, off-center strike, clipped planchet, or wrong planchet error. An exceptionally high grade such as MS67 Plus or MS68 certified. Or a dramatic die error like doubled die obverse wear. Lettering such as Liberty or In God We Trust shows clear doubling visible without magnification. Error coins are where the real excitement lives. Some 1987 P quarters have been found with off-center strikes where part of the design is missing but the date is still visible. These can sell from $50 to several $100s depending on percentage off-center. Double-struck quarters can bring even more. Coins struck on the wrong metal, for example struck on a nickel planchet or foreign planchet, can reach thousands of dollars at auction because of extreme rarity. Now let us talk about composition. The 1987 P quarter is composed of a copper core with outer layers of copper nickel. It weighs approximately 5.67 grams. It has a reeded edge. Diameter is 24.3 millimeters. Understanding these details helps collectors identify counterfeits and errors. Another factor affecting value is eye appeal. Two coins graded the same can sell for different prices. Why? Because one may have better luster, fewer marks, stronger strike, clean fields, original surfaces without cleaning. Cleaning a coin destroys value. Many beginners make the mistake of polishing old coins. Never clean your coins. Even if they look dull, leave them natural. Now let us move into market behavior. Coin values fluctuate based on collector demand, auction results, grading population reports, and overall economic conditions. When more collectors compete for high-grade examples, prices rise. When supply increases, prices can stabilize or fall. The 1987 P quarter in top certified grades remains a condition rarity. That is why some auction records show surprising results, but remember this clearly. If you find a 1987 P quarter in your pocket change, it is most likely worth 25 cents. The value increases only if condition is exceptional or if a genuine error is present. So what should you do if you think you have a valuable quarter? First, examine it under good lighting, check the mint mark. Look closely at Liberty, the date 1987, In God We Trust, and Washington's hair details. Search for doubling. Weigh the coin if possible. Do not clean it. If it looks nearly perfect with strong luster and minimal marks, consider submitting it to a professional grading service. The world of coin collecting is full of hidden treasures. Sometimes value is not in age, but in condition and rarity. Older quarters like 1932D and 1932 South are key dates worth much more because of low mintage. Silver quarters from 1932 to 1964 contain 90% silver and have intrinsic metal value. But modern clad quarters like 1987 P rely mostly on grade and errors for high value. That is why education is powerful. The more you learn about mint marks, strike quality, die varieties, and grading standards, the better your chances of spotting something special. And remember this, the word Liberty on top of the coin is not just decoration. It symbolizes opportunity. Opportunity to learn. Opportunity to discover. Opportunity to turn 25 cents into something much more if you know what to look for. The quarter dollar may seem ordinary, but in the right condition, with the right characteristics, it can become extraordinary. Always check your change, always study before selling, and always verify extreme price claims with real auction records.